In 1889, Germany made its workers a brand new promise, a pension. Stop working at 70, and the state would pay you for life. One detail stayed off the posters. Life expectancy in Germany was close to 40. Most workers never reached the payout age. The man behind it, Chancellor Otto von Bismarck, was not being generous. He needed to cheaply calm workers who were turning towards socialism. A pension almost nobody collects costs almost nothing. The number 70 did all the quiet work. Decades later, America copied the blueprint with one update. In 1935, Franklin Roosevelt signed the Social Security Act. The retirement age was set at 65. Average life expectancy in 1935 was around 61. Once again, the finish line sat past most lives. For a while, the math worked in the workers' favor. People started living longer, and the system began to crack. By the 1980s, the numbers stopped adding up. In 1983, Congress did something permanent. It raised the full retirement age from 65 to 67. The change phased in slowly, so few people noticed. Anyone born in 1960 or later now waits until 67. Claim early at 62, and your monthly check shrinks for life. Wait until 70, and the government pays you the most. So the reward structure points in one direction. The structure nudges you to keep working and keep waiting. Then, a second, larger change arrived. For most of the century, companies ran the pensions. They promised a fixed monthly check until you died. That promise is called a defined benefit plan. The employer carried the risk while the worker stayed covered. In 1978, a single line entered the tax code. Section 401k was meant for executive bonuses. A benefits consultant named Ted Benna read it differently. In 1980, he built the first 401k savings plan. Employers saw a way out. The pension promise turned into a personal savings account. Now the worker picks the funds and carries the risk. If the market drops near retirement, that becomes your problem. The company keeps its costs predictable. The shift happened fast, and the numbers show it. In the early 1980s, most covered workers had a pension. Today, around 15% of private workers still do. The rest depend on whatever they manage to save, and those savings, for most people, fall short. For workers aged 55 to 64, the median 401k holds roughly $90,000. Spread across retirement, that runs out quickly. So a lot of people simply keep their jobs. Then there's the public system standing behind all this. Social Security pays from the taxes of today's workers. Fewer workers now support more retirees than before. In 1960, about 5 workers backed each retiree. Today, it is closer to 3. By the 2030s, it heads toward 2. The program's trust fund is running down. The trustees project the main fund empties around 2034. After that, scheduled benefits would face automatic cuts. Unless Congress acts, the likely fix is familiar: raise the retirement age again. Each time, the same lever gets pulled. And you can see the result in the workforce. In 1985, about 1 in 10 Americans over 65 worked. Today, it is closer to 1 in 5 and climbing. The fastest growing group of workers is people over 75. None of this is an accident of bad luck. Every version of the system set the payout age high. Bismarck used 70 when people lived to about 40. Roosevelt used 65 when people lived to 61. Now, the age keeps rising as people live longer. The gap between stopping work and dying stays thin by design. The finish line moves every time you get close. Pensions push the cost onto your own savings. Social Security pushes the date further out. Both point at the same outcome: a longer working life, sold to you as your own choice. So next time the retirement age goes up, watch closely. The headline will call it a tough but necessary fix. The structure underneath has run the same way since 1889. You were never really meant to reach the finish line. And the math behind it has not changed. The age keeps climbing while your savings thin out. So you keep working, exactly as the plan intended.